UndergroundHipHopBlog.com exclusive.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What up? It's Pawz One broadcasting live. You already know Project BeOND 19th year anniversary. We're here at the spot, as you can see. Mad Heads in the spot. We're here with the legendary Acid Rain. What's going on, fellas?
This is Gajah from Acid Rain, chilling at Project BeOND 19th year anniversary. So I see mad people, mad faces, dope MCs, graffiti writers, just kids around running around with their parents. It's awesome. It's a great night.
My name is Olmeca from Acid Rain here at Leimert Park in front of Chaos Network, celebrating the 19th anniversary of Project BeOND.
What up, what up? This is BeOND representing. We got the fam in the back. Too many to name. Project BeOND is all you need to know. We got all the networks. Big up.
So it's been 19 years, but let's talk about your guys' day one experience right here at Leimert Park.
Day one, it was different times and it was a different grind back then, but we definitely just kept coming. It was already a well-oiled machine. Project BeOND was already going. It had evolved from the good life to the Project BeOND. We started coming. We didn't stop coming. We pushed our way in, basically, and we got the co-sign by AC and AB, started doing some shows, some tours, and it's been history, ever since.
Oh, from day one, it was really hard. We had to battle our way, to get the respect that we earned over time. Every week you had to come and prove yourself or get, please pass the mic from the crowd, and they'll just throw you off the stage. So it was a brutal battleground over here back in the mid-'90s when we started coming out. But, slowly but surely we just kept coming, brushing on our craft and, building with all the OGs and with all the founders, Abrood, AC, all the heads. And it's been a long journey, and we're glad to be here and celebrating this beautiful event tonight with Underground Hip Hop Blog,
So you guys literally battled your way into the scene because there was already a preconceived notion of what Latinos should look and sound like, and you guys definitely changed that whole perspective and that whole stereotype. So what do you think the difference is between now and then? I mean, obviously there's way too many to cover, but one of the most obvious ones to you guys, what's that?
Well, I feel like back then, even for me, when I first came here, rhyming in Spanish was something that wasn't really looked at as legitimate, as hip hop. So I feel like now, I think though things are a lot more open, I think folks are able to come in with different styles and things like that. There's pros and cons, we've lost definitely the sense of paying dues, the sense of freestyling, the sense of styling, the sense of coming out with your own style, standing as your own MC, an entity that has a style unlike any others. And obviously media has a lot to do with that, social media has a lot to do with that, but I feel like though things are a lot more creative, you could say some of the things are more creative. At the same time, it's a lot easier for folks to come up and build their careers, not necessarily on credibility, but more on publicity.
I think social media and things like that definitely give technology as well, software, things like that, give a younger generation an advantage to just create a rap career in about 2.3 days. And now you're technically a hip hop artist. You perform at the UU, and now you're somebody selling tickets, what have you. But you guys have definitely paid dues. What is one of the highlights you guys have had here at Leimert Park Project BeOND?
Yo, peace to the homie Destructs who just patted me in the back. We got skills right there, the fam. The highlights, I think the first time we actually went on stage and we did this song off an old cassette that we released in '96 called the Marble Jar compilation. There's a song called Spells of Relief. And it was one of the first times we ever, made the crowd whoa, and throw their hands up and get hype, and, we felt it really differently that day, and we just knew we had that feeling within us, and it just motivated us to keep going, and yeah, that's probably one of the highlights, and also, just getting props from the OGs in general, from Peace, from, days where, people are in the crowd are seeing you shine, and they're giving you props, and you.
For me was because I came into Acid Rain afterwards. I was actually doing an interview for these fools for Newswire for the magazine Project BeOND that I used to write for. But eventually we got together, and during that time we actually went on tour with Freestyle Fellowship, with a bunch of cats. We even made it out to Denver, right? Was it Denver? And we performed with Kool Keith or something like that. And we're young ass heads. Basically, the idea of them taking us under their wing was really dope, and it kind of goes to show you how the mentality that some of us had back then, where it was like you had to pay your dues regardless. Like you couldn't fake it, you couldn't front it. Like if you paid your dues and you had credibility on the streets of LA as an MC, people knew it. And if they didn't know, people didn't know you. I mean, you couldn't even show them a CD because they weren't gonna buy it.
Yeah, a highlight for me is, I mean, they kind of touched on the Blowed stuff. For me is one of the more recent highlights that had a real big impact on Acid Reign as a whole is evolving from just a rap group to becoming a label. Once we became Acid Lab Records, it was just like the whole view of how we release everything, all the expectations we had for labels when releasing ours, we had to apply that to ourselves and figure out how we were gonna make that happen. And it's been a blessing ever since. I mean, we want to release a song tomorrow, we release a song tomorrow. Like we want it on iTunes in 2 weeks from now because there's a special occasion, we're dropping it. I mean, it's all how we want it, when we want it, the way we want it, and the results are just better. The people are really digging it. So I mean, it's really cool. To me, the biggest highlight right now is just evolving to a record label.
Touching on the artistry part, I mean, the artistry is definitely alive. You see people back here rocking out. I believe that's Longevity rocking the stage right now. Let's talk about the business aspect, the transition that you guys had to make going from being MCs, jumping on stage, battling, freestyling, what have you, to actually jumping in the transition of selling records and things like that.
I mean, just back to like just the whole label aspect of it. I mean, we've always, even before we had Acid Lab Records, Olmeca had started the label Nomadic Sound System. So we've always been the type to press up our own music because we've had to. And back before tape, like CDs were around, it had to be pressed up on tape, not because it was a cool throwback thing to do, but because you had to put it on tape. So we would come here, we would press up our tapes, come here and slang them at the Blowed every week, asking the same people every week, you want to buy our tape? You want to buy our tape? Till eventually those tapes evolved to CDs, and then the CDs evolved from being, pressed up and put together ourselves to, being done by the indie labels, and just seeing that, and then just learning how to market it and trying to get, the right people to get behind it and push it. Yeah, what up? It's just the business aspect and the artistry can sometimes collide if you don't know how to balance it. I think the good thing that we have is that regardless of whether the music is paying the bills or whatever, we have means to have our bills paid. So we get to do the music as a bonus. Like we could still feed our family with what we're doing on our, on our day to day, and then, once we're done with that, just focus on the music. So it keeps it pure. It keeps it, the way that we want it, and it's awesome.
I mean, the other thing too about transitioning just from like an artist into the business aspect is you gotta obviously you gotta have it. If you want to protect your artistry, you fully believe in your artistry, you gotta be able to protect it. And one of the ways in which you protect that is by making sure that the business aspect of your music, from publishing to distribution to licensing, that all of that is taken care of and that you're well protected. Like to me, it's like you got the majors, then you got independent, and then you got underground. You know what I'm saying? Like you still got folks in the underground that are just straight up like making music, putting stuff on video and just promoting. But out of this underground, I feel another industry kind of grew out of it, which is the independent industry. And it works no different than the major labels, except they're it's at a smaller scale. And even then you got to deal with like a lot of the politics that come with labels, man. So if you really want to maintain the integrity of your artistry and you want to make sure that you reach the right people, you really, like, artists have to be their own labels and make sure that they protect every aspect of their music.
So touching on those things right there, the business aspect, the artistry, some of the history you guys had here, what about the future for Acid Reign? What do you guys got in the works right now, project-wise?
Well, right now for 2014, we got a project. It's like a side project with a Japanese cat from Osaka, and it's called Losaka, which we're going to be releasing early 2014. And we're going to slowly build another Acid Reign LP, full length. Hopefully release it by, 2014, the latter end, or 2015. But that's in the works. And various solo projects. I got many solo projects. BeOND, Olmeca, like all of us grinding on the solo tip as well. And look out for many EPs and albums, and all through Acid Lab Records. So look out.
Can you guys give me one source, one spot, one link where they can find all the solo projects, all the Acid Reign projects, updates on the tours, the videos, and everything? Can you guys give me a link?
Yeah, if you go to Acid Lab Records, you'll find every single thing you can think of for Acid Reign. You can find out what albums we have now, what albums are coming up next. You can find out what dream I had last night. Go to acidlabrecords.com and you can find it all. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to get that deep, and find fucking Gajah's last fucking movie that he saw, go to Acid Lab Records. Or if you want to find BeOND's latest fucking album, Acid Lab Records.
That's what's up. Acid Rain, Pawz One, Project Blow, 19th year anniversary, and you know it's undergroundhiphopblog.com. Peace.
Yo, what's going on? This is BeOND of the Acid Rain crew. My man Gajah. We got Olmeca. DJ Ethos is around here somewhere. We're at the Project Blow anniversary. You're tuned into the Underground Hip Hop Blog. Peace.
Undergroundhiphopblog.com exclusive.